What's going on, guys? Brandon at a Watch and Unwind. So today's a funny video, guys. Today's a video I've been wanting to put together for quite some time, just about my experiences that I've had at the Rolex authorized dealership. Trying really hard, guys, to get my first Rolex. And this video is a lot different than it was going to be. I was actually getting ready to do a questions and answers video over on my Instagram. I set up on my story that I want to do a questions and answer video. And somebody asked, can you do a video on your experiences at the Rolex dealer? Because they know I've been trying to get a Oyster Perpetual 41 for going on about 2 years. And the funny thing is, I had one, video in mind of how I was going to say my experiences have been, but maybe 2-3 hours after that person commented that, I got a call to pick up my new watch that I'm wearing right here, the Oyster Perpetual 41 millimeter green dial. So I feel like it was pretty lucky timing. I don't know if that guy summoned it or not, but now I have a really different video for you guys. But like I said, I was on the wait list for a long time, and I want to talk to you guys pretty much how I went about it, and all of my interactions I had with the dealer and how I ended up getting this watch. So to start off, it was, I believe, September or early October 2020. And if you guys see me looking down, I have some emails and stuff opened up because I want to give you guys kind of word for word all the exchanges I've had. But I went to the authorized Rolex dealership looking for a Tudor. This was before I even bought my Omega. I had about $3,000 saved up. I was looking for a Tudor. I walked in because I saw that this dealership online is also an authorized dealer, a Tudor, but in this particular location, they didn't have any Tudor. So I walked in, I go, hey, how you guys doing? They said, can I help you? I said, yeah, I'm looking for a Tudor. They said, we don't have any Tudor. I go, oh, that's too bad. They asked what model I was looking for. Said that maybe they could order some. I said I would much rather see it in person, but I told them what models I was into. I was considering a GMT, the standard Black Bay, and that I was really into watches. I kind of told them who I am, that I have a watch-based YouTube channel. I'm a collector, and I'm looking to get into Tudor, but that since they don't have them, I'll go try somewhere else, but I can't try too many places because I'm in Alaska, and that's actually one of the only watch stores up here. So there is nowhere in state to actually buy Tudor. When I was walking out the door, they said, we do have, we don't have Tudor, but we do have Rolex. Would you like to take a look? So I went and took a look, and they actually had a full case at this time. Again, this was 2020, September or October. The new Oyster Perpetuals models just got released, so they didn't actually have any of these at the time, but they had a full case. They had a bunch of 41 millimeter Datejust, which I did try on just to see, how the 41 millimeters looked on my wrist. It looked good. I tried on the Datejust were a couple of steel and gold Datejust, as you usually see in case, but then they said, I do have some stainless steel Datejust in the back. Would you be interested? They asked probably 2 or 3 times, and looking back on it, I probably, should have grabbed one of those as well, because those are pretty hard to come by. But I said, I got set in mind what I want. I have a lot of watches with the date already. I've never been super into the Cyclops, and I would really like a time only watch. I didn't know at this point that the Rolex Perpetuals were going to get just as popular as they are. And to me, the OP, it's like the perfect mixture of luxury because it's all done really well, but it's also so simple. It's a time only watch, very clean, very symmetrical. It's simple. A lot of people, think it before these colors were released that the OP is like Rolex's most boring line, but I actually like how simple and clean and refined it is. And of course, the historical significance that is the Oyster Perpetual. And then, of course, these watches became super popular with the new colors and are trading double retail value, which I have no plans to sell this watch ever. But it's pretty crazy, how they exploded. So I was taking a look in the case, still expressing interest that I would like a Oyster Perpetual 41. I'm probably going to hold out into that. They got the little cards where they write down my name, my email address, that I wanted that watch in red, but I did tell them that I would be interested in trying on any of them because I just kind of want to see them in person, see how they look. And a lot of the times in person, those watches are going to look a lot different than they do online. But I was really, really interested in the red. And they also had some sports models in the case. They had a GMT Master 2. I don't recall if it was the two-tone root beer or if it was the full gold version. They did have a Yachtmaster 40, the platinum bezel Yachtmaster 40, and they did have a Day as well, full gold. And so I was looking at those and I saw an empty spot where the Submariner would be. I said, hey, I like this Yachtmaster a lot. How often do you guys get in Submariners? And they said, we actually get in Submariners quite a bit. We get like 3 a month. And I said, oh, great. I go, I'd also be interested in a Submariner. Please let me know if you guys get one. I would either, buy that or the Oyster Perpetual right away, or maybe I would buy both of them. So they added on my little card that I'd be interested in a Submariner. I said, I'm not too picky. I'd buy any of the Submariners, but I would most like a no-date version. I know the date is more popular. I'd like a no-date version because, again, I think it's very clean and symmetrical. I'd also get the date version, and of course, I'd be interested in the Kermit. The newer Kermit with the ceramic bezel. So they put that all down and I walked out. So then I believe that was on a Saturday. About 1 week later, that Friday, so October 10th, this is the date of my email, and in my head it was about 1 week. I messaged them. I won't use any names of the salespeople, but I said, hi, it's Brandon. I just wanted to say thank you for showing me those watches last Thursday, so it looked like it was maybe a week since that time. It was fun to talk watches with you, as well as talk about Alaska. Since me and my fiance are new to the area, I was originally looking for a Tudor, but after speaking with you, I'm positive I would want a Rolex as the newest timepiece in my collection. Please keep me updated on the models we spoke about, as well as a couple more I've added to my consideration list. I am interested in the red and light blue 41mm Oyster Perpetual, as well as the black Submariner date. I'm very interested in the black Submariner non-date version in either of the two GMT Master variants, and I am extremely interested in the green bezel Submariner. So at this point, I'm kind of just throwing out everything I'm interested in. I figured I'll hit him with the shotgun spray. I'd buy any of these watches, but I want them to know I'm serious. I'm not just, dicking around. And please let me know if they have any of these. I thought my chances would be better if I just, said it. I'm interested in all of these watches rather than just one. They emailed back. Oh, and look, I put a PS. I go, I'm looking into viewing the Northern Lights at Chena Hot Springs like you recommended. Looks amazing, but I'll definitely be taking a visit here this year. So when I went in to talk about watches, we actually were talking about Alaska, which I recently moved to before this, about the Northern Lights, places to eat, these hot springs that we went to. I was just being really, really friendly, and they were being friendly back. They seemed like they were honestly, pretty good people in there. The saleswoman I talked to, very, very friendly. I actually thought I was gonna get a watch right away because they told me they get watches quite often. They get like 3 Submariners a month. They seem like they like me. They were just very, very friendly. So I'm like, oh, this is awesome. I must have hit the jackpot here. Little did I know it would take me like a year and a half, 2 years. So then they sent an email back. Thanks for the email. It was great talking with you guys as well. You're both gonna love the experience at the hot springs. I recommend checking out the museum when you're there. It was awesome. They have a greenhouse tour that I haven't done yet, but it's on my list for next time. I will keep you updated on the watches you're interested in. Feel free to reach out if you have any questions or just say hi. She left her cell phone number, and they let me know that they have a diamond showing coming up. But I'm not too interested in that. So now some time went by. 2 months later, I get an email. It was just an email that kind of goes out to everybody because now I must be in their system, that they just got a Tissot PRX in. They started selling the Tissot PRX there. And I emailed back that I am a little interested in the PRX, but I'm not super into quartz watches. It's a cool looking watch. Maybe I'd go in and try it, but I'm more interested in a Rolex. And they actually called me back instead of emailing me about 30 minutes later. And we talked on the phone it was my lunch break at work. We talked on the phone for probably about 45 minutes. And again, just very natural conversation. I think we were talking about pizza. There's one really big pizza place in Alaska, which everyone goes to. You call up to get a pizza, the wait time's like 3 hours, and that's what they were getting over at the dealership for lunch. So we were talking about that, talking about watches. They offered me a Cellini, saw if I would be interested in a Rolex Cellini. They said they actually don't usually do discounts, but that I could have the Cellini at 15 or either 25. It was either 25 or 15% off. Again, I was pretty adamant that thank you for the offer, but I'm really, really interested in a Oyster Perpetual because I just like how clean it looks. I'm looking for something really, really clean. That's like what I had my eyes on, and that's what I'm holding out for. But I would also be interested in the Submariners because they're just such an iconic and awesome watch. To let me know, they said they're gonna let me know when one comes in. That's what they told me. So then after this, I went to text message exchanges with them. So this was a couple months from October. So now we're getting into spring in Alaska. Things thaw out a little bit, and I bought a pair of paddle boards. I remember this because I bought a pair of paddle boards. I bought it on my Omega Speed Seamaster because I didn't think I'd be getting a Rolex anytime soon. So I wanted to still get a nice luxury watch. I bought my Seamaster, and I took it out paddle boarding as soon as kind of things thawed out. And I text messaged her before I went out paddleboard and saying, hey, haven't talked to you in a really long time. I just want to let you know I'm still 100% committed to buying a watch from you. If you guys get one in, let me know. I would really like to add a Rolex to my collection. Yeah, let me know. And then I went out paddleboarding. She called me back twice. I didn't pick up because I was out paddleboarding. And then she texted me and said, oh, I'm so sorry. It's been so long. I promise you're next in line. As soon as a red Oyster Perpetual comes in, it will be yours. We'll let you know. So again, this was spring or summer of 2020. Let's say May 2020. I messaged back. I'm kind of having fun at this time. I took a picture of my watch on the paddleboard, and I said, yeah, sorry I missed your calls. I'm out paddleboarding with my Seamaster. Would be nice if it was a Rolex, but this is what I got. Let me know, or something like that. And then from that point, I'm texting her quite a bit, just saying hi. I'm having fun with it. At this point, it's like kind of a joke. I don't really expect a watch. I got married June 2020. I messaged her, I think 2 weeks before I was getting married. Said, hey, I'm getting married soon. I wanted to match my watch to my tie. Um, just wanted to check what your inventory was. They messaged back, oh, congrats on the wedding. We don't have anything yet, but I hope I am able to get some to you before you get married, because that would be awesome. Didn't hear nothing, so still texting. I texted them pictures of my wedding when I got back. Say, here's some awesome pictures I had. Would it look cooler with a Rolex on my wrist? But it was still a great time. Thank you. Just little funny stuff back and forth, but I'm always kind of making myself known, just saying hi. Every month I would send a text message, how's the inventory? How's the inventory? From that last email all the way through the summer. How checking in once a month. Hey, time for my monthly check-in. Just want to see what you guys had. Still very interested in Submariner or the Oyster Perpetual. Red. I kept saying red. To me, that was the most polarizing model. That's the one I wanted. But I actually didn't end up with that one. We'll talk about that. But kept saying it. So then in October 8th of 2021, I sent this. Hey, just wanted to reach out. It's been a couple months since I talked to you last. So I guess I didn't keep in touch every month, but I tried to. Hope everything is going good. Still very interested in the Oyster Perpetual 41 in red. In total, it's been a year since I first showed interest. So if you'd be able to give me some sort of honest time frame as to when you anticipate you might be able to get me one. Is it like 1 to 3 more months, 1 to 2 more years? Or do you think you'll be able to get me one at all? I would just really appreciate it so I can plan accordingly. Thank you. I was kind of getting at this point, it's a lot of money to put aside. $6,000 for Oyster Perpetual, or more, 8 to 10 for a Submariner. I had this money sitting and I wanted to know. I mean, you put this money towards a lot of other things, car payment, vacations. I mean, you put this in a stock portfolio where you're gaining 10% a year. That's, you're talking $600 to $1,000, but it's just sitting in my bank account. So it's kind of a waste of space. They email back, hey Brandon, thanks for reaching out. It's great to hear from you. I can say that the world of Rolex is crazy right now. We don't have any watches in the case right now, and it's the same all over the world. With that being said, I know that we'll have one available. We just don't know when. Hope you're doing well. Please take care. All right. And then, so in between this time, I think that was October, November. I think November, I went inside, trying to just kind of poke my head in, see what they had in case. They already told me it was empty. Went in, like they said, Rolex case, totally empty. They did have Tissot there, like I knew they did. So I was looking at the Tissot, and I tried on a PRX. I tried on both the Quartz and the Powermatic 80, and I'm like, oh yeah, this is cool. You know, up until this point, I had no purchase history with them. Looking at the PRX, I go, I like this a lot. I'm gonna think about it. Walked out. Next day, I went in, and I did actually end up picking up a Tissot PRX Powermatic, which I've totally overshadowed, because since picking up that watch, my wife actually is the one who wanted to pay for the watch, and she put it under the Christmas tree. So I haven't touched it. I've had it since November, but it's been under the Christmas tree. I just recently opened it up on Christmas. But before I even got to post that video online or let you guys know that I have it, I ended up getting the Oyster Perpetual. So I feel like I've forgotten about the PRX, which isn't the case. I'm still gonna wear that watch a lot. I'll have to showcase it on video because it's an awesome watch. But I did have one small purchase now at the authorized dealer. I still didn't, I wasn't buying the PRX in a hope that it would help me get the Rolex. I think the PRX is an awesome, awesome watch. I did cover that a couple videos back when I showcased the gold fluted bezel PRX that not too many people know about. So then I left, and while I was in there buying the PRX, I was talking to them about how I would be going to Hawaii soon. And then, so I did go to Hawaii. I had a good time. I think I let you guys know about that. I at least been posting pictures on my Instagram channel. It was an awesome time. Sea turtles everywhere, did a lot of hiking. There was a Rolex store in Hawaii. So I was in Maui. I went to the Rolex store. Didn't have anything for sale. They had a couple watches in the case though. I tried on a Sea Dweller, a Sky Dweller, they had some Mariners, they had GMT Master, all exhibition only. I tried on an Explorer 2, and I tried on an Oyster Perpetual, finally 41 millimeter, and it was the green. And then they had some other watches too, I forget, but they actually had quite a bit in the case, just not for sale. And I was talking to them about watches. I think they were pretty impressed with my knowledge of watches. When I started talking about all the different functions and model numbers and the history behind each watch, I was with my buddy who's a little interested in watches. He doesn't own any yet, so I was kind of explaining everything to them. And they said that they didn't have it yet, but they asked, how long are you going to be in town for? I told them, and they said they might be getting in a Yachtmaster 40 rose with the rose gold two-tone, if I would be interested in that. And I said, to be honest, that's a great watch. It's beautiful, thank you, but I'm really looking for Oyster Perpetual still. To me, the Oyster Perpetual is just such a clean watch. It's what I've had my eye on. I go, I'll buy this green one right now. If you'll sell it to me, they were laughing. They go, of course you will. It wouldn't be here if we could sell it, because it would have been out of this store a long time ago, being very friendly. I think that goes a long way, guys, just being friendly. I think the dealers do wish they were in a better position and they had more watches, but it's a slippery slope at the same time. And then I went over, they had Patek Philippe there. I tried on like an $85,000 Patek, which was funny because I don't think I'll be owning that watch anytime soon. Super expensive, but it was cool to try on wrist. They were super nice, and it was just a good experience because I got to try on a bunch of Rolex watches, Patek Philippe's that I've only ever seen online, and you get yourself so amped up for these watches even though you haven't actually seen it on wrist. And when I tried the Oyster Perpetual on wrist, I knew it was something I wanted, and I actually liked the green a lot now that I saw it in person. To me, the green, it's one of the fun colors, still one of the 4 fun colors, but it's understated at the same time. It's kind of like the same shade green as the Rolex boxes, which are really cool. But like I was saying, it's one of the fun colors, but it's not so out there that I think it would clash with whatever you're wearing. Like today, I get a gray shirt on. It looks pretty good. The red would have looked good with the gray shirt as well. But like if I had maybe a blue shirt or something, I think the red would just clash too much. The green, it's more subtle. So I think it's a more versatile watch. So I was a little bummed out, didn't get a Rolex in Hawaii like I wanted, but I did send an email as soon as I got home. I said, hey, hope everything's going good. I just got back from Hawaii where I was able to try on a Oyster Perpetual 41 green. I liked it a lot. I'm still 100% interested in the red, but please let me know if you come across a green dial, because I would buy either or both of these watches 100%. Your patient and Rolex-less friend, Brandon. That's how I signed off my email. I'm trying to just be funny at this point because I didn't expect anything out of this. They emailed back, Glad you had a wonderful trip. I'm so excited that you got to try on the OP. I will definitely let you know when something comes available. In the meantime, let me know if I can help you with any jewelry needs. So at this point, I thought for sure I'm not going to be getting a watch. It's been, almost 2 years now, and nothing has come from it. So I actually, and this might have helped me summon the watch as well. I spent all the money that I had put aside for this watch on other things because I didn't think the watch would be coming. Of course, I do have a little bit more money set aside, but I kind of like to figure out my money. I do all my billing to put it kind of towards different things. It just kind of helps me feel better. So the little pile of money I had purposely set aside for this watch, I spent it about 2 weeks ago. And then I get the call yesterday, a matter of fact, that they finally have this watch in green. I rushed to the store. I kind of look a little funny because I kind of like ran to the store and they see me. They go, "Are you happy? We saw you run from your car." I go, "Oh yeah, I'm happy. It's been a long time coming." They took out the watch straight from the little box. So it didn't even go into the case. It wasn't in a Rolex box. It was in the little box. They must have just got the shipment in. They had a bunch of little boxes in one larger box of all the new Rolex models, and everyone was on the phone letting people know that watches come in. Would they be interested in it? Of course. Once they opened it up, I looked at the watch. I go, I don't even got to try it on. Of course, I'm interested in it, but I did try it on so I could fit it and size it. And that's it. I try to cover as best as I could every interaction I had with them. It's been 2 years almost total. So I probably missed or skipped over something, but I think patience is the key. It's not an easy spot for them to be in. You hear a lot that the dealers sell to people they probably know are flipping the watches, or that you have to spend exorbitant amounts of money. If someone's going in there and they're just buying, whatever comes in the case, female models, Rolex Cellini, less popular models, gold models, and they're spending so much money, and then they say, "Hey, I'd like an Oyster Perpetual." Of course, they're gonna get the call before you, which is a bummer. That's just the way things are. But I do think the ADs wish they could get these watches out to other people. So if you put your name out there, I think you will eventually get a call, guys. I don't think there's a way to really beat the wait list, but I know that bums a lot of people out, so they don't end up on a wait list. I think the key, guys, is go in there, tell them your name, be friendly, stay in touch, and don't get your hopes up on it. To me, it was kind of like, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But you're not gonna beat the wait list unless you can get on the wait list. So that's the biggest thing, guys. Go to the dealer, get your name down in some capacity, and then have fun with it. Bug them a little bit, whatever. Make it known that you really want to watch. And now, guess what? When I'm in the market for another Rolex, I can go back now. I have the purchase history, but I wasn't about to start the purchase history buying something I don't want, buying jewelry, because that's not the way I operate. I refuse to do that. I like this watch, but I refuse to pay $1 over that retail price. I didn't end up with the red one. I ended up with the green one, which I actually ended up liking better once I saw it in person. So patience is the key, guys. Patience is your friend. And but definitely get your name on the list, or it can never happen. Would you rather be bitching 2 years that the watch is taking a long time to get, or would you rather not get one at all? And in the grand scheme of things, it's not too long to wait. It is, of course, a very long time to wait, but it's not the end of the world. So get your name on the list. I'm of course gonna keep wearing this watch. I'm gonna have to review this. I actually get to review quite a lot of my watches. I think I've only technically reviewed my Hemsdahl Workshop, Visinger Adventurer, and my Hamilton, but I'll be reviewing this, my Tissot, my Omega, and so on coming up. Oh, and like I said, guys, today's video was supposed to be a questions and answers video, but it was gonna take me, a half hour just to address this one question. So my next video will be a question and answers video. Please let me know down below some questions you would like me to answer. I got a couple good ones so far, but I would like a couple more. So thanks so much for watching, guys. Please hit that thumbs up button. Please subscribe to the channel. Let me know a couple questions you'd like me to answer on my next video. And that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Catch you on the next one. Boom.